Okay, well, welcome back to County Imperial here in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. We're over at our dumpling making station now, and we're making what is considered one of the most technically difficult and highly skilled processes of dumplings. It's xiaolong bao, which is a Shanghainese soup dumpling. Me and my business partner Tracy Young just returned from Shanghai, where we had the real thing, and yep, I think we're doing a pretty good representation. So as I said, these are really, really hard to make. These guys make it look easy, but it's a soup dumpling. So basically it has soup in the dumpling, so that when you bite into it, you not only have the pork filling or the pork and crab filling or whatever the filling is you choose for your dumpling, but you also have soup essentially inside of it. And people have come up to me, and it's always a mystery how we get the soup inside the dumpling. And right now we are, against my better judgment, going to let you in on one of the great secrets of soup dumpling making. So what Carlos is our master dumpling maker. He's been doing this for many, many years. I would caution you not to try this at home, but you can certainly give it a go if you want. What he's making look very, very easy is years and years of practice and technical skill. Catherine is one of our apprentice dumpling makers. She's rolling out the skins. We home make the skins every day. The dumplings have to be made fresh. They cannot be frozen or refrigerated overnight. So we make as many as we make, and when we run out, we run out. You can see what she's doing is turning the dough as she pushes her rolling pin over the skin. So what you end up with, I'm just going to reach my hand in there, sorry, is you end up with a very, you can keep going, Catherine, you end up with a very thin edge and a little bit more thickness in the center, so that when you roll the dough, when you roll the dumpling as Carlos is doing now, you get a very even product. You don't get too much skin on the fold, as they say. So it's not raw and chewy on top. And the other thing that's really, really hard to do is, you see the way Carlos presses the filling into the skin. You have to get the exact right amount of filling in the skin. Otherwise, you're gonna have an empty dumpling, or you're gonna have a dumpling that you can't close. And he just knows instinctually and through the art of his experience how much filling to put in each skin. So how do you get soup in there? People often ask me. I mean, I've heard lots of crazy theories from, well, you freeze them, and then when you cook them, the soup thaws, and that's how it goes. Or we use gelatin, or some people even think, I had one person theorize that maybe we take a little needle and inject the dumpling with soup. All of those things are false. So I'm going to show you a little bit of a background. We're going to go over to where we're making the actual soup that goes in the dumpling, and then we'll cook off some xiaolong bao, and then try those, and then that will be the lesson in xiaolong bao. So we're going to take some dumplings. Excuse me, everybody. We're going to take. Oops. Just give me one order. Oh yeah, so one order for us is 6 pieces, and we're going to take it over to the steamer. And this you can do at home. These things can fit very nicely into a pot of water. So we put it right in there. Not quite so hot. I'm actually going to put a little more water in the wok. So it steams, and these steam for exactly 7 minutes. So after 7 minutes, that xiaolong bao is perfect. So over here to the soup. This is the soup, and calling it soup is sort of a misnomer. Basically what this is the secret ingredient. So this is pork skin, which has been boiled and cleaned, and then chopped, and then mixed with water, scallion, and ginger. And we boil it for 4 to 6 hours. And it looks like this. You can see it looks kind of like hamburger helper or something. That's the chopped skin. Then we strain this liquid. We're also constantly like taking off any impurities and getting rid of them, just so the soup is nice and clean. But we take this liquid, we strain all the bits out, the ginger and the scallion and the bits of broken down pork skin, and then we refrigerate it, and it becomes like a solid mass. And then we take that mass and we mix it with our ground pork and our seasonings for our filling. And the filling that you saw them making over there, using over there, is half this and half our ground pork, which we grind here at the restaurant, and our seasonings for flavor. And that's the key to soup dumplings. Other people do it different ways. I've seen it done in Shanghai, where they chop up pieces of pork fat, and that's kind of their soup. But this is our method of making our soup dumplings at Kings County Imperial. And after 7 minutes, we'll try some dumplings, and then we'll be back to make some shomai.
Can you go watch them make a few more, and then?
Sure. Yeah, we can watch them all day long. That's how long they're going to be doing them. So yeah, so that ground pork filling there is half ground pork and half that gelatinous fat mixture that I was just showing you. We cook that mixture once a week, and we use it all week long for the soup dumplings, which we make daily.
So how does one learn how to do this?
Practice, practice, practice.
Hours.
Well, Catherine's been doing it now for about 3 months, and she's very good at it. She's got the technique down in terms of quality. She just doesn't quite have her speed down yet. The trick is to be able to do them make the exact same dumpling every time, and do it really, really fast. I mean, you could spend all day making 6 dumplings and they'd be delicious, but we'd have a lot of unhappy, hungry patrons in that case. So I think Carlos has been doing it now for 15 to 20 years, and he's worked at some of the great dumpling houses in New York. And we found him because, I'm not going to mention any names, but one of our favorite dumpling houses in Chinatown was going out of business. And we saw that as an opportunity to borrow their dumpling maker, and it's been a marriage made in heaven ever since. We make 30 to 40 orders, depending on the day. On weekdays we make a few less. On weekends we make a few more. And when we run out, we run out. And we usually run out. Around 9, 10 o'clock. So, get here early if you want your soup dumplings. We only allow 2 orders per table because they're so popular, and we don't want them to run out at 7 p.m. But they have to be made fresh every day. They don't hold over. So you basically just, when they're done, they're done. In Shanghai, we went to the most famous soup dumpling restaurant in Shanghai, and they're just constantly making them. And as they're making them, they're putting them to steam so that every dumpling that they make has been made like seconds before. It's quite remarkable. Except the difference there is that's all they make is soup dumplings. Here we have a full menu of other items as well.
Can you tell us about the dough? A lot of people want to know the recipe.
The dough is flour and water. That's it. It's not a yeast dough. It's just flour and water. It has a very supple consistency. You can see it's like a pasta dough would be much stiffer. This is pretty soft dough, so that makes it especially difficult to work with, but it's just flour and water.
Priscilla wants to know where you guys are
Priscilla wants to know where we're located. We're located 20 Skillman Avenue, which is in Williamsburg, right off the BQE, right near the L train. It's a little side street around the corner from Union Pool. 20 Skillman Avenue is where we are located. Our full menu is also available at kingscoimperial.com. You can see lots of pictures, and there's a cool video on there. And we do take limited reservations, although we save most of our dining room for our neighborhood walk-in customers. So if you can't get a reservation, don't be discouraged. You can come anyway. We like to save most of our dining room for people who are just get the hankering for our food.
Rita wants to know what the filling is made of.
Rita wants to know what the filling is made of. So the filling is made of ground pork, white pepper, ginger, scallion, some proprietorial seasonings, and that fat mixture that I just showed you. So it's pork skin that's been reduced down to form sort of a gelatinous mass mixed with ground pork. You can buy the ground pork already ground. We grind it ourselves. So it's basically just ground pork, the gelatinous mixture, ginger, scallion, a little of what's called Shaoxing cooking wine, which is a famous cooking wine that's used in a lot of Chinese cuisine. A little bit of soy sauce, which we also make here, but that's another story. And that's it. So yeah, we use soy sauce instead of salt. We don't use MSG in our food, although I have nothing against MSG. It's just not in this dumpling, and that's about it. It's a very simple, rustic dish that really relies on the technique and the skill of the person making the dumpling. Ingredients are not complicated. Flour, water for the skin, ground pork, a little bit of pork fat, and some seasonings for the filling, and the rest is all in the rolling.
Angel wants to know, are these steamed?
Angel wants to know if they're steamed. Yes, they're steamed for exactly 7 minutes. If you steam them for more than 7 minutes, they will likely stick to the bottom of the steamer. And if you cook them for, did I say more? If you cook them for more, they will likely stick and fall apart. And if you cook them for less, they will likely be raw. So we cook them, we find that 7 minutes is the sweet spot for cooking, for steaming.
Sam wants to know, are you pinching the top of the dumpling?
Sam wants to know if we're pinching. Yes, he's turning the skin in his hand as he's pinching. I think he gets classically 13 folds on the top, but that's less important as making sure that the top is not open, nor is it too thick. But yes, Sam's exactly right. He pinches as he turns the dough.
Jackie wants to know, can you bake them?
Jackie wants to know if you can bake them. No, you can't bake them. But somebody was asking me the other day what I would like to see as one of the major food trends in East Asian cuisine. And what I think that everybody should do is I think everybody should practice steaming, because steaming is super easy. It's almost, I guarantee you, you can do it with the equipment you have in your kitchen now. You don't need anything more. But these dumplings are way too delicate to be cooked any other way other than steaming. With other kinds of dumplings, you can deep fry them or you can pan fry them. But again, these are very delicate, and steaming is really the only way to go with these. Baking, I think, would produce something very hard on the outside and not very satisfying.
Lindsay wants to know why you put them on lettuce.
Lindsay wants to know why we put them on lettuce. That's a great question. You can put them on parchment paper, but we put them on lettuce so that they don't stick to the bottom of the steamer, and also the lettuce is a bit more attractive. And also, I mean, I don't know, how much faith to put in this theory, but lettuce tastes better than parchment, so you get a little bit better of a more natural flavor with the Chinese cabbage. It's not actually lettuce, it's the leafy part of the of Napa cabbage. But you could use lettuce, or you could use any soft type of cabbage would work. But basically, the basic short answer is so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the steamer. So whenever you guys are ready, our xiao long bao are ready that we put in the steamer earlier, so we could take them off if you like. I'll go get them and bring them back, and then I'll open them up for you. Okay, whatever. I'm going to find a plate to put them on. So our xiao long bao are ready. So we just take them off, put them on a plate, and then voila, xiao long bao. And you see, I mean, they're all exactly the same. And they'll stay hot now for about like 3 to 7 minutes. But you really want to eat these when they're hot. And you have to be careful not to put a whole dumpling in your mouth. Otherwise, I mean, you've probably all had the experience with putting a really hot piece of pizza in your mouth. Well, this thing will explode in your mouth because there is soup in it. It is very soupy, so you have to eat them really slow. I eat them like a chipmunk, so I just bite off a little piece and then kind of let the juice slip out into a spoon. But people have all different crazy methods for eating soup dumplings. The point is you don't want to put it all in your mouth at one time, or you'll wind up with a burned mouth.
Thank you so much.
All right, cool.